Tonight on the Entertainment Report, a Vancouver couple share their experiences of living in the wilderness, and we review the radio ratings in Calgary. But first, here's our trivia question. What 1959 film is famous for the most spectacular chariot race in movie history? Living in the wilderness is just a dream for most outdoor lovers, but for Ian and Sally Wilson, it was a reality. The Vancouver couple spent 14 months living on a remote lake in northern BC and have written a book about their adventures called Wilderness Seasons. Ian and Sally only saw 6 people from the outside world the entire time they lived at the lake.
We'd have a contest to see who could hear the airplanes first, and we'd rush out and wave our arms, not in a sort of emergency signal, but just wave, and if they saw us, they'd land on the lake and say hello. That was exciting after not having seen anybody for so many weeks, and we did see someone just talk their ears off.
Through trial and error and the help of a how-to book, the Wilsons built a log cabin. It took 2 months to construct, and it became their home for over a year. After the experience was over, they returned to their lives in Vancouver.
I think coming back to civilization was more difficult than going into the bush. After 14 months of seeing no electricity or running water or flush toilets, they were all seemed like novelties. It was like we were coming out of a different century into the real world again. And light switches seemed to be quite a novelty to us. And we had some difficulty stepping up to the pace of the city again. When we first started to drive back towards Vancouver, 30 miles an hour in our truck seemed outrageously fast. And the pace of the city took a long time to get used to again.
The Wilsons are anxious to continue their adventures in the outdoors. They're already planning their next trip, dog sledding in the north of Canada. The Bureau of Broadcast Measurements released the Canadian radio ratings yesterday. Here's how the Calgary stations measured up. In first place, AM 106. Their audience is very large with the 12 to 25-year-old set. Number 2 is CFR. They corner the 18 to 49-year-old market. Third, CFAC. They have strength with the rural audiences. In fourth place, BBC AM. 5 is CHQR. And here are the remaining 5. You'll notice that the last 4 are all FM stations. It seems that Calgarians like to listen to AM more than FM. Tomorrow night is the Caribbean Carnival at the Caribbean Canadian Club. It'll feature reggae, soca, and calypso music, Caribbean food, costumes, and a limbo contest. Tomorrow night is also the kickoff of the Calgary Jazz Festival at the Jack Singer Concert Hall. The Glenn Miller Orchestra will be playing their big band music to get you in the mood. And Sunday night, country singer Crystal Gayle plays at the Jack Singer Concert Hall. In trivia today, the question was, what 1959 film is famous for the most spectacular chariot race in history? The answer is Ben-Hur, starring Charlton Heston. Have yourself a good weekend. I'm Jaime Wohl.